So yesterday we saw that this is a drill jig. So first operation was your facing, then next operation was your centering, then उसके बाद turning setup one, then next is turning setup two, then instead of going for thread rolling, first we are doing drilling, and after drilling we are doing thread rolling, because if you do threading first and then you try to do drilling, then the drill will slip. It will not get a bite, it will not get a support uh, because of the weak thread. So this was a small sketch of the drill jig. So you have to identify where the workpiece, the red color है, this red color, that is the workpiece.
Sir, your
Remaining
screen is
black
not
portion
visible.
is the, sorry,
स्क्रीन विजिबल नहीं हो रही है, आपका इंटरनेट स्लो होगा शायद से। वो प्रेजेंटेशन दिखा रहा है पर वो,
connectivity. हाँ,
सर वो प्रेजेंटेशन दिखा रहा है पर वो आपका स्क्रीन नहीं दिखा रहा।
यही तो है स्क्रीन। हाँ,
हाँ सर, आपको दिख रहा है पर हमें नहीं दिख रहा। आप प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो
अच्छा,
फिर भी। अभी दिखा सर।
अभी दिखा।
हाँ दिखा।
Okay. So you have to identify here. The red color is your workpiece, and then I think there is a lag internet connectivity ka. Hmm. So and the black color is the drill jig. So you have to identify which are the surfaces suitable for the holding, locating, and clamping. So obviously here the locating surface is this taper. Hmm. Okay. Then this is your supporting surface. This also gives the supporting, right? This also gives the support, and from here it is clamped also, and then drill is passed through this jig plate, and it does this drilling. So that was your operation. Then now the next operation is your thread rolling. So this is a thread rolling operation. This is a thread rolling operation. So how it is done thread rolling operation में?
सर बहुत
तो
लैग है
जब
सर।
हाँ,
बहुत लैग हो रहा है सर।
हम्म, क्या करेंगे? आई थिंक
सर एक बार सिर्फ कनेक्ट करके डिस्कनेक्ट करके ट्राई करो।
एक मैं क्या करता हूँ, मैं हॉटस्पॉट ज्वाइन करता हूँ, हॉटस्पॉट से मॉर्निंग से ही कनेक्टिविटी इज पुअर। लॉगआउट करेगा तो मीटिंग से बाहर आ जाऊंगा वैसे।
सर लॉग आउट मत करो, सर दूसरे को कनेक्ट करो, आप बाहर नहीं आओगे।
हॉटस्पॉट से कनेक्ट करता हूँ।
हाँ सर।
आई यूज हॉटस्पॉट। अभी दिख रहा है स्क्रीन?
हाँ सर दिख तो रहा है।
Can you see this drawing?
नो,
ये जो थ्रेड रोलिंग का है वो,
नहीं सर, सिर्फ वो आपका पूरा पहला वाला स्क्रीन दिखा रहा है। सर एक बार प्रेजेंटिंग स्टॉप करके स्टार्ट करते हैं। हाँ सर, अभी दिखा तो रहा है
अभी
पर लैग हो रहा है।
देखते हैं। अभी कनेक्टेड हॉटस्पॉट। दिख रहा है ना ड्राइंग? नो? हेलो?
यस सर।
सुनो। So now here these are the dies, threading dies. This, I hope you can see this, no?
यस सर।
Uh, then this is a component. So the threading die will be this. Generally, the diameter of the threading die is 150, and the pitch has to be same. So here now pitch is 1.5 and I 10 threaded die. The outside diameter is 150 and the bore is 54. This is the component which is kept on a work rest. So this blue color is a work rest. It has a little V here on which this component is rested. Fine. Now this die is rotating like this, so the component will rotate like this, and the direction of this will be in this direction. So this and this will rotate in opposite direction. Fine. So if you look from top, the rotation will be seen like this. So how does it works? So initially you have one die which is fixed in the sense it is rotating, but it is not moving in this direction. All right. and then this die is little away, so it is in the retracted position here. So that means this area is clear. So what you have to keep, you have to keep the component here on the V rest. Of course, where it is to be threaded. So here it is to be threaded. So manually you have to load this component on this V rest. Then you have to bring this die and you have to press against this component. All right. So now this is rotating positively. Fine. And moment this is rotating and this is pressed against this workpiece, then because of this will rotate and this also will rotate. Fine. And then whatever threads, whatever pitch is on the die will be generated or will be cut on this workpiece. So this threaded die, these are hardened and ground, and your workpiece is soft, isn't it? So because of this hardness, it will cut, and it will hardly take few seconds. So actual threading will be done in one rotation of the workpiece. In one rotation of the workpiece, the entire depth will be cut. If the depth is too much, like say more than 3 mm, then you can, bring this die slowly, slowly, slowly. This is what is called as the radial infeed. This is your radial infeed. Huh? There is no actual, infeed. There is always a radial infeed. So this die is, bring this die is brought slowly, slowly, inside radially, depending upon the depth, and the threads are generated. If the depth is small, then the threads can be formed in just one rotation itself. In just one rotation itself. So this is what is your thread rolling operation is. This is how it will look like. This is called as the process picture. Anybody is waiting here? So the most important in thread rolling is the blank diameter before thread rolling. Blank diameter before thread rolling should be equal to the pitch diameter. So if it is 10, nominal diameter is 10, the pitch diameter, there is a calculation, there are formulas. So with the help of that, you can calculate the pitch diameter. So remember, when you are doing thread rolling, the outside diameter should be equal to the pitch diameter. You cannot keep 10 diameter, because when you are doing thread rolling, the size of the component increases. Size of the component increases. So this is what is engraving, which you can see on the thread rolling die, that is M10 by 1.5 right hand. Then again M10 by 1.5, it is clearly engraved on the die so that you can identify. This is diameter 54 H8. H8, this is nothing but the tolerances, so that this can be mounted on a shaft. And this is the V rest on which the component is rested. So now here, what will be the locating, holding and supporting surface? This is what you have to identify in case of thread rolling. Now this becomes this V block is nothing but locating. This is your,
सर
yes,
सर वो वी ब्लॉक थ्रेड्स को डैमेज नहीं करेगा अगर वो सपोर्ट कर रहा है तो?
V block. No, because V block, you can keep, if your question is right, but what happens, no, this thread
तो
rolling
सेंटर्स
operation,
यूज करने चाहिए ना,
sorry,
सेंटर्स यूज करने चाहिए ना लोकेटिंग के लिए और फिर
but then,
होल्डिंग के लिए.
no, generally, but we don't use, you can use the center also, like you can have a center here and you can have a center here, and you can load the component in between center also. So that is also, that is very safe. But sometimes what happens, if you want to make it very fast, then the people just load it on V block, and these V blocks are comparatively soft. hmm, and this only happens in one rotation only. This happens in one rotation. So the contact
सर
time is not much. Contact time with the V block is not much. Means it is not like 5 minutes. It is resting on the V block. So if it is resting on the V block and definitely V blocks are not as soft as workpiece. So if it is continuously resting on the V block for 5 minutes, then it will get damaged. Yeah, बोलो.
सर, पर
हाँ.
पी ब्लॉक पे मतलब कुछ लुब्रिकेंट अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा ना, ऐसे कुछ तो?
No, no, no. See, as I said, no, it is only remaining here on the V block for 5 seconds at the most. एक rotation में this thread rolling is completed. In just one rotation only, thread rolling gets completed.
पर सर,
Hmm.
पर एक
So
रोटेशन के लिए कुछ
lubricant
तो
is not
कंडीशन है
required.
ना?
हाँ.
एक रोटेशन में ही अगर कंप्लीट कर रहा है तो उसका कुछ तो आप कंडीशन बोले थे ना कि थ्रेड छोटे चाहिए या फिर पिच
Depth.
डेप्थ छोटा होगा तो एक है ना?
Depth. Suppose if the depth is 1 to 1.5, then it can be completed in one rotation. And generally the depths are not more than 1.5 or 2 mm. If the depth is more, then you have to penetrate this die slowly. So it will take at the most three or four rotations. So if we calculate, suppose if this is rotating, let's say around say 1200 rotations, if the 1200 RPM, so 1200 revolutions per minute. Okay, so in 1 seconds, how many rotations will happen? 1200 divided by 60, isn't it?
यस.
So how many rotations in a seconds? 1200 divided by 60, that will be 20 rotations, isn't it? In a second. And we are talking that at the most it will take 4 to 5 rotation to complete. It is so fast. In 1 or 2 seconds it will get completed. I say even if you consider that the RPM as 600 revolutions per minute, 600 divided by 60, so 10 revolutions in a seconds, and we are talking about 4 to 5 rotations. Only why it takes for 5 seconds, because we have loading time and unloading time. So together it will take around 4 to 5 seconds for this threading. So the contact time is not much. So the damage to the threads is very less because of the V block. See,
ओके
this is what I have shown here. This is one is stationary. Stationary means it is rotating, but it doesn't move in this radial direction. Another die is rotating as well as it moves in radial direction. So this is what is called the radial infeed. Infeed means this die is coming inside, uh, and moment the threading is done, again it is retracted. So it goes to its home position. Retracted means you have to just keep the clearance of say around 20 or 25 millimeters so that this component can be unloaded and loaded again easily. So यहाँ पे now what I was telling you, this is your locating. Locating is in V block. Then this also act as a support, this V block, and then holding and clamping. How the component is hold and clamped, it is hold and clamp between these two threading dies. Very simple. So locating surface, then this is your holding and supporting surfaces between the dies. The most important is that your diameter, this blank, should be undersized. It should be equal to pitch diameter. Then these are not only in rolling process, not only you can do the thread rolling, but you can also do serrations. Like these are the questions which we ask in the Viva. Can we do serrations in thread rolling? Because thread rolling मतलब दिमाग में ऐसा रहता है कि it can only do the threading only, but you can do splines also. Two different sizes are also possible. Like suppose this is M10 and this is M16. It's not necessary that uh, this should this should be straight. You can have a step here, and here also you can do. But then what we do, suppose if we have M10 threading here and M16 threading here, the first you finish all M10 wala, then you change the setup, because why, from M10 to M16 you need to change these dies, because in one die you can cut only one pitch. If you want to cut 2 pitch, then you have to change the die. But if the pitch remains same, then you can use the same die. But moment the pitch changes, then you need to change the die also. So this plans is possible. You can do even knurling also. Uh, So that was the thread rolling operation. So now we are almost done with the
सर
machining operation. Yes, bolo.
सर वो थ्रेड रोलिंग ऑपरेशन में जो डाइज हो गए वो सिर्फ पिच स्पेसिफिक हो गया ना?
That is pitch specifics. Yeah, pitch specific. Then why we are taking this diameter 150? Because after say doing say 5,000 or 10,000 or 1 lakh pieces after cutting, even though these are hardened, it gets blunt. Okay, then what we have to do? We have to again regrind this, and then again we have to recut this dice, resharpening. So that's why we are keeping this diameter as 150 so that it can be used many number of times. This dice can be used many number of times before it is yes, scrapped. Like now, see, you have to have this 50 dia because there will be a shaft inside. Okay, so if you keep this 75 dia, the life of the die will be small, short. So that's why we keep this diameter 150 so that after doing say 10,000, 50,000 die, moment it becomes blunt, then you can regrind it. But it is piece specific.
And sir, if
Yeah.
one diameter of a die is 150 and we are using other diameter at 75, then also the threading will happen, right, of the same pitch.
Yes, threading will happen. Yeah, as long as the pitch on both is same, yes, it will cut.
So, sir, since the diameter of that middle, our component, it will be the pitch diameter. So,
Hmm.
then we will have to divide that total hill and valley by two, and then we that from by that much feed we have to push the dies inside, right?
Yes, yeah. That will also depend upon the depth also. Yeah.
Okay.
Or which?
Nice.
So now your first operation was facing. You are done facing. Then you are done center dealing. Then after doing center dealing, you are done turning setup one. Then we are done turning setup two. Then we are done drilling. Then after drilling, thread rolling. Now you have to see whether all the operations has been done or not, because now the next operation is induction hardening. Next operation is because once you do the induction hardening, then you cannot do turning on lathe machine, or you cannot do drilling, because all this drilling or milling or thread rolling cannot be done on the hardened components. It cannot be done on the hardened the components are hard, you cannot do so. Before sending the component for hardening, you have to ensure that all soft operations are done, because once you harden it, then you can do only grinding operation. Only grinding is possible, no other operation is possible. hmm? ग्राइंडिंग कर सकते हैं या ईडीएम कर सकते हैं या वायर कट कर सकते हैं, बट यू कैनॉट डू turning, because in induction hardening the hardness that you get is around 58 to 62 rc, and normally the tools what we use, even the carbide tools also what we use, that can cut up to 45 to 50 rc. Moment the hardness increases 50 rc के ऊपर, then it becomes difficult. Then you have to go for special tools. Maybe for cbn you will have to use cbn inserts, or you will have to use diamond inserts. But then that is very expensive. Very expensive.
Oh God, mommy.
So now let us see how the setup of induction hardening is. So now this is in induction hardening, the most important is the design of the coil, or where you have to do the induction hardening, the coil design, and where you have to do the induction hardening. So now in this particular component, the hardening is to be done only on this surface. Sorry, not on this taper. The hardening has to be done only on this ball, not here. This. So you have to design a coil accordingly. Now, what is this coil is? This coil is nothing but in this coil, the current is sent, or the voltage is sent, and of course, alternating current. And because of the alternating current, that EMI, that is electromagnetic inductions, Hmm, the eddy currents, fine. So this induction hardening or this surface hardening is based on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Hmm. So wherever the hardening is required, that much surface has to be exposed to the electric current, right?
सर
The depth, yes,
सर आप बोले थे कि अगर हार्डनिंग करना है तो हार्डनिंग के पहले उस कंपोनेंट के स्पेसिफिकेशन के ऊपर कुछ नहीं कर सकते ना, मतलब उतने तक ही ना, उतना डिमेंशन तक ही कुछ नहीं कर सकते ना। अगर वो इंडक्शन हार्डनिंग का बॉल सरफेस छोड़ के अगर
हाँ
नीचे मुझे कुछ भी सॉफ्ट ऑपरेशन करना है तो फिर
हाँ
उसे मैं सॉफ्ट जॉ चक में यूज कर सकता हूँ ना।
here, na, here you have to use soft jaw chuck because here if you use hard jaw chucks, no, then this being soft, you will get the
नहीं
impressions
सर,
of the hard jaw will come here, and this surface will get damaged.
नहीं सर, अगर मुझे होल्डिंग होल्डिंग बॉल पे करना है या
हाँ
फिर ऐसा कौन सा सरफेस पे करना है जो जहां पर पहले से ही हार्डनिंग हो चुका है, तो फिर
हाँ
सर उसे एज अ होल्डिंग सरफेस यूज कर सकते हैं ना, अगर एक ऑपरेशन रह जाता है तो।
हाँ, yes, yes, yes. In fact, that is the most suitable because it is hardened, isn't it? So that is the most suitable surface for holding because that will not get damaged since it is hardened. I say
तो सर
definitely.
इतना ही देखना पड़ेगा ना कि जो सरफेस को हार्डन करने वाले है उसके सारे ऑपरेशंस हो जाए, बाकी सबका
The sur-
पूरे
yeah,
कंपोनेंट का नेसेसरी नहीं।
no, not necessary. So the surface or the area where it is to be hardened, there should not be any soft operations on that surface. Like now here, see this is a ball. If there would have been any hole here, hmm, and since this surface is to be hardened, you have to ensure that this hole is already done before hardening. If my mistake, suppose if you forget and if you are done hardening, then you won't be able to do the drilling. Then you'll have to go for EDM. हाँ, you'll have to go for EDM. आपको एक electrode लेके you'll have to do the drilling. So that becomes then very expensive. No, the work which could have been done in just 1 minute, for that now it will take half an hour to 1 hour to drill. I say. So that's why, as you said, not necessarily, but it is always preferred that you do all the soft operations because what happens during hardening, because of the temperature, the component gets distorts. So it is always a good practice that before hardening you do all the soft machining wherever it is, especially on the hardened surface. यहाँ पे suppose if you forget, then it can be done laterally uh, by holding it on this surface. Yes, that is
और
possible.
सर
हाँ.
इंडक्शन हार्डनिंग में करंट पास करें मतलब हीट पहले करें, हीट प्रोवाइड होगा ना वहाँ पे।
Yes, yeah, because see, H is equal to I square RT, no? It H is equal
यस
to
सर।
I square R into T. So where I is the current, then R is the resistance, and T is the time, isn't it? So the resistance is fixed. So you can play with the current and the time. So depending upon that, the heat amount of heat developed will vary, and as per the heat, the depth will vary. You say. So finally, the depth and the hardness is a function of current and time. If
सर
you are
बट एट द सेम टाइम वो फ्लो ऑफ कार्बन पार्टिकल्स भी होगा ना, डेप्थ, मतलब
yes,
इट शुड
yeah.
इट डिपेंड ऑन
See,
थ्री थिंग्स ना।
basically the hardening depends upon the how much carbon up to how much deep that carbon is going, isn't it? Because this is hardness is a function of carbon, isn't it? जितना deep में carbon जाएगा, उतना ही आपको hardness मिलेगा ऐसे. And that's why this process is also called as the carburizing or case carburizing.
ओके सर।
So this is a coil. So you have to design a coil in such a way that the component can be inserted from the top or from the bottom. So this coil will be circular in shape like this. See, this is a coil. It's a coil. A copper coil लिखा है बराबर है. इसमें हम लोग high frequency current छोड़ते हैं. And you have to see that this coil is, it's a kind of a fixture, and it is steady and sturdy. The coil is steady and sturdy, and you have to see that there is a small gap here. This coil is not touching the workpiece. Coil is not touching the workpiece. Otherwise, this this will get short. They should not be shorting. So this is some coil designs. Like here, now suppose if you want to, harden this much surface, then the coil design will be like this. All right. Then I had asked you how to do the testing, how to do the checking. That depth, whether the required depth has been achieved or not. So that is done by non-destructive testing or ultrasonic testing. So here, that radiographic test may you can see the case depth. You can measure this case depth on ultrasonic testing. Hmm. So one or two pieces you can check initially in the beginning. You can check one or two pieces, and if it is correct, the depth is correct, then you can do the induction hardening in mass production. Hmm. So once you have set your current, your carbon, and your time, and once you are sure, once you get the report from the quality assurance, yes, now the depth is correct and the hardness is correct. Then for the hard, then you can proceed. Hmm. Then hardness tester also, there are the special hardness testers, because you cannot go for your regular Rockwell tester, because in Rockwell hardness tester, what happens, the indentation is very high, means the diamond indenter, it goes um, deep, means it will go, suppose if the case depth required is say 0.5, it may go more than, it may go up to zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.7. So in that zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.7, the material is soft, here the material is soft. So the regular hardness tester will not give the correct hardness. So here it is. So what has been shown here, this is your quenching. So here, once the current is passed for a predetermined time, then it is switched off, and then you have a blast of coolant, that is a quenching media, that is water, or oil or air also, so that this surface gets hardened. Hmm. And again, this is not very time consuming. Process engineer, you have to you know see that this happens very fast. Then now coming to the holding and locating. So here you can locate on this taper. Hmm. And since this taper is finished, if you want to avoid friction between this taper surface, you can have kind of a felt, a soft piece, because you are asking uh, that the surface may get damaged, so you can hold it in a felt. And then this is a kind of a bush in which there is a felt, in which you can load the component from the top, and this bush is connected you know to a coupling to the motor. So moment the motor rotates, so this will rotate, and then this rotates, and then finally your component will rotate. See, your component has to rotate, yeah, in order to get a even case depth. Even case depth. So here now locating surface will be this taper, and you can have centers here and here. All right, and that becomes your holding and clamping surfaces. And this is your coil. So this coil will come under fixture, and then you have quenching devices, quenching medias to cool. So here hardness will generally the RC circuits, that is resistance capacitive type circuits are used. So your hardness will depends upon the circuit, what kind of circuit is. It will depend upon the length of the coil. It will also depend upon the coil design, then current, then time, then frequency, then the gap between the coil and the surface, and the quenching media also. Generally you use demineralized water, that is called the DM water. Hmm. What precautions you have to take, that your workpiece should not touch the coil, otherwise it gets short. Hmm. Generally the current, in order to have zero point 0.4 to 0.5 millimeter depth, and for 58 RC, current which can be sent is around 10 to 15 seconds. Then safety is another concern, because these are the high currents, and plus we have water here, so that has to be taken care of. Uh, so it has to be in a close guard. Induction has to be done. Induction hardening. So generally we take around 1 minute, considering passing loading, then passing the current, then quenching, and then unloading, and then cleaning. So the usual cycle time is around 1 to 1.5 minutes. So that is again fine. Even if it is complete cycle time is 1 minute, in 1 hour you can do 60 pieces, and in a shift you can do around 300, 350 pieces. So if you have a batch of 5,000 pieces, and if you run the shop in say 24 hours, and if you are getting net at say 22 hours आपको मिलता है, तो per hour if you consider 60, so 600 into 20, so around 1200 or 1500 pieces you can get. Even if you consider 1000 pieces per day, 5000 pieces का batch है that you can complete in 5 days, and then 5,000 into 12, so 60,000 pieces can be done annually uh, by running this induction hardening machine 5 days in a month. This is how you calculate the production, target or the lead time, and you take the decision whether I can, deliver a batch of 5,000 pieces in 5 days or 6 days or not. Of course, you have to work out the bottlenecks also. You have to study entire right from the raw material to the finished. Like we have considered facing, we have considered centering, then drilling, thread rolling. So the bottleneck is nothing but the which is the slowest operation, and there you have to concentrate. Here either like suppose if this would have taken 5 minutes, then this becomes the bottleneck. So everything, all the material, all the work pieces will come to the induction hardening and will get stopped, because everywhere the operations are very fast. Half a minute, 1 minute, like that it is. If induction hardening is taking 5 minutes, so then you will have to take, as a process engineer, you will have to take a decision that in order to, have a one piece flow, then I must have one more induction hardening setup. So two setups. So if it is 5 minutes, so cycle time will become 2.5 minutes. So like that you have to take the decision. Hmm. You can check the hardness, or you can check the case depth by destructive testing also. But in destructive testing, what happens? Your component you cannot reuse. So in that case, you have to use a cutoff grinder, cutoff cutoff grinder, flexible grinder. Say you have to cut using abrasive wheel. You have to cut the component after hardening into two pieces. Then you need to polish it. You need to polish it. Then you can, after polish, that cross sectional area will become clear, and then you have to take that cut piece under microscope, or you can take it in profile projector also, and there you can see uh, the you can see the hardness, the ring which is formed. That is this ring you can observe under destructive testing. Under microscope you can uh, very easily observe, and then you can read this. You can set your scales here. You can set your x-axis here. You can make it 0, and you can measure the depth of this case. So this is how you can do the. But then in destructive testing, the component cannot be used. So you are spoiling the component. So that's why everybody goes for ultrasonic testing, non-destructive testing. Generally, the frequency range is around this 0.8 to 1.5. It is 200 to 400 kilohertz. For 1.5 to 3 mm, it is 10 to 100 kilohertz. So as the depth goes on increasing, your frequency goes on reducing. Generally, in induction handling, common practice is up to 99.99%, or you can say 100%. We don't go more than 1.5. Moment you go for more than 1.5 or 3 mm or 3 to 10, then why not do through hardening? Through hardening means complete hardening. Complete hardening means not the entire workpiece. Complete hardening का मतलब रहता है till center. That is what is called the through hardening. Surface hardening means It will get hardened only on the surface. Through hardening means, or complete hardening means, it will get hardened till the center. So instead of going for more depth, then in that case, your through hardening is more easy. Through hardening is more easy. Then now grinding. Huh? Now this is the setup for the grinding, and this is your specifications for the grinding wheel, which you might be familiar. That is, this is your A stands for abrasive, and A is your aluminum oxide. See, basically there are four types of grinding wheels, four types only. Naturally available abrasives are aluminum oxides, which is available on the this आपका बीच, समंदर के किनारे के ऊपर जो मिलता है वो, जूहू बीच एंड चौपाटी एक्सेट्रा. So from these abrasives are made aluminum oxide. Silicon carbide is again naturally available abrasives. So these are the two basic abrasives. Then two more abrasives are your diamond, is used as a abrasives, and your cubic boron nitride is used as a abrasive. So these are the four abrasives which are used. But diamond abrasive wheels and CBN wheels are costly. The tools and inserts itself are costly, so nobody goes for the diamond wheels and CBN wheels. Only in specific applications only we use diamond wheels or CBN wheels.
Sir,
Again, the dressing or the regrinding of the diamond wheel and the CBN wheels is again expensive affair. So 99% of the workpieces can be ground with the help of abrasive and with the help of aluminum oxide and silicon carbide. Hmm. And as you know, the grinding is generally the last operation and done after the hardening. In between hardening and grinding, there are two operations which are essential, and those operations are called as the auxiliary operation. That is, one is your moment you do hardening, then you have to do the cleaning. Cleaning means what? Like hardening, basically hardening is what? That is your surface get oxidized because of the oxygen which is available in the environment. Hmm. So it becomes very dull, and the scales are formed on the surfaces. So first operation is that scales has to be cleaned on the surfaces by some sand blasting or shot blasting, and also the centers also. In the centers also, uh, the salt, or the carbon goes. So the centers which you are done, center dealing what you are done in the beginning, that doesn't remain mm, true, mm, because that also get oxidized and some scales also trapped. So those are useless unless and until you clean the centers. So that cleaning of the centers is very important. That is, so you have to remove the scales which are formed in the hardening, and you have to clean the centers properly. Then the second operation is if the components are long, and slender, if the L by D ratio is more, then because of the heat, it gets distorted and the component becomes bent, and this is very true in case suppose if you have a shaft of say 25 dia by 200 long, 8 inch by 200, 1 inch diameter by 8 inch long. So here L by D ratio is almost how much, 200 divided by 25, so 8. Generally, we try to see that L by D ratio doesn't exceed 4. So this component is more likely to get bent if you do hardening in horizontal. Like suppose if you hold this component horizontally, I hope you understand horizontally, then your center of gravity of this component is exactly at the center. So the entire load is acting at the center if you are holding it horizontally, and definitely uh, it will get distorted at that center. It will become concave at the center like a saucer shape. So in this case, as a process engineer, you have to suggest that this long component has to be held vertically. So when you're holding it vertically, this shaft, then what happens? Your center of gravity is in the vertical axis down, isn't it? So the entire weight is acting in the y-axis direction. So there will be elongation of the component, but the component will not bend. Component will not bend. There may be slight bend, but it will not get bent if you are keeping it horizontal condition and doing hardening. Hmm. So these type of decisions you have to take. But whatever may be, some small distortions or some small bend will occur, and if the components are by mistake loaded horizontally, then the bend will be high. So in this case you have to do operation that is called as the straightening. So before straightening you have to clean the centers, as I said, and then you have to hold the component between center and you have to hammer it. Now this hammering can be done manually by using dial indicator, or this hammering can be done on the press. So on the press it is more professional, because you can put a dial there, and wherever it is out, because of the hardening the component becomes out, it gets distorted, it gets bent. So wherever it is out, you have to press it, so that it becomes straight. Hmm? Once the straightening is done, then you can go for the grinding. Now here, this is the process picture for the this component complete solution. I have done it. So this is a process picture. So many times in the questions, 20 marks for questions, may you have to draw the process picture for the major operation. So now here grinding is a major operation. So here, this is your process picture. So I hope you understand this process picture. This is a bit complicated, this process picture, but you can understand it. I'll explain it.
Sir,
Yes, you are asking something?
yes sir.
हाँ बोलो.
सर पिछले स्लाइड में आपने
हाँ,
वो
this one.
फ्रीक्वेंसी दिखाई थी,
हाँ,
फ्रीक्वेंसी और केस हार्डनिंग डेप्थ वाला फ्रीक्वेंसी।
this one. Yeah,
नहीं नहीं, नीचे नीचे
नीचे
फ्रीक्वेंसीज
this.
दिखाया है ना वहाँ पे। हाँ,
Yeah, these are the coil
फ्रीक्वेंसीज।
designs. हाँ,
तो सर फ्रीक्वेंसीज किलो हर्ट्ज।
हाँ, kilohertz हाँ frequency. Hmm.
सर
This
ऐसा
is
क्यों है कि
if
फ्रीक्वेंसी
you
जैसा
want.
कम हो रहा है, हार्डनिंग बढ़ रहा है सर?
This is a mathematical model. It's a proven model that if the frequency is reduced, your depth will increase. Hmm. Case depth. Hmm.
सर ऐसा कुछ इक्वेशन है जो ऐसा मतलब फ्रीक्वेंसी
You have.
करंट और
Yes, you have a model available, no, for this induction hardening. Yeah, mathematical model. I can give you, I can share you. Hmm, that it is a function of current, it is a function of resistance, temperature, and frequency. Hmm. But generally, we don't ask for the mathematical model only that. See, normally ours is, frequency is this thing, no. So generally, what we just remember this much only, that it is a function of current and this thing, yeah, time. Because frequency can be changed with the help of a frequency generator. Your incoming frequency, domestic frequency is 50 hertz, but then you need to have a separate panel, electric panel, or this RC circuit generator, that is resistance capacitor generator, wherein you can get different frequencies if you want to change the depth. But normally, then in this case you have to invest on the generators. Generator means your power supply. So instead of that, what we do, the trend is to keep the frequency same, uh, so that you don't need a frequency generator, and you just vary the current and the time. Just vary the current and time. On the electrical panel, you will have you can change, you will have a selector switch for selecting the current and for selecting the time. All right.
ओके सर।
Yeah. Okay, we'll continue this tomorrow. It's time. I have not uploaded this. I'll upload this today. Hmm?
ओके सर।
Okay. Thank you so much.
सर ये मॉड्यूल कौन सा है?
This is module 2, that is preliminary part print analysis. In module 2, it is 2.1. Module 2 is divided into two sub-modules, that is 2.1 and 2.2. We have done with the module 1, that is process engineering. We are doing module 2. In module 2, we are studying 2.1, that is preliminary part print analysis, and 2.2 is workpiece control. So preliminary part print analysis, the weightage for this is 20 marks.
Okay,
One
sir.
question will be asked definitely. Okay.